Hi everybody, it's birdie time, and today I'll be practicing the Jonesville Park course here near Gainesville, Florida. I'm preparing for the Chain Huck Open A-Tier event, which is coming up right at the end of November here into the beginning of December. I'll be playing from the long pads in the MA1 division. Let's see how well this practice round can go today. Let's see if we can get a good score. Hole 1, par 3. This one is long pad to long basket, 315 feet. Basically, if you manage to get into the gap, you're in a good spot, and the basket is hiding behind that tree back there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Flip. Ah.
Definitely not the birdie look that I'm hoping for. Good enough for a par. Long pad to short pin here on hole 2, only 230 feet. Couple of options available. I'll be trying to take the right hand gap here to hyzer back into the fairway, and we'll see how close I can get. Not where I want to be, but hit the gap, so that's good. It's hard to pass up the chance to run a few aces on this short pad, 172 feet. Close. Going. Oh! Close again. Oh, off the cage. Hole 3, this one again, long pads to B position, so about 260 feet. This is a weird one to film because the basket is very hidden off the tee pad. Let's see, there it is. I'm essentially shooting through this gap here to the right of that leaning tree toward that sign for the next hole way up there. And if I can just slowly hyzer my way there with a mid, I'll be in good shape. Pretty good. Hole 4, long pad to A position. This one's 351 feet. Off the pad, through a couple of early trees. A bit of a gap to hit there. And there we go. Basket is behind later trees. I'll be throwing a turnover shot, just trying to make the first gap moving right and hopefully fade back towards the short part of the circle, have a putt. That is way too turned over. Not good either. Now that's a shot I can live with. That's a good result. It gets worse, but this is not where I want to be. It is it. Not how I want to play the hole, but a par's a par. This might have to be my no tee shot. It's a distance driver, but I hit the line much better. Might have to change my plan there. Hole 5, one of the longest, if not the longest hole out here at Jonesville, 479 feet. We have OB on the left across that path, OB on the right across this fence, which continues in a straight line. Basket is, again, 479 feet down the fairway, a bit up on that hillside. I'll be playing this one for par. If I can get within 150, I'm feeling great. Sit down. It's a little bit on the hillside. Don't love it, but don't hate it. The hole after hole 5, don't know what number it is, but 281 feet from the long pad. We have an OB stretch to cross after a bit of a low ceiling here. And the basket is on a small hillside with OB long of the basket, about 40 feet past it, behind the walking path. Straight OB, that's fantastic. I just went back OB, and so let's see, what does that make it, a 6 that I'm about to take? Easiest triple bogey ever. We're throwing 405 feet to position A. Down the fairway, hidden behind a couple of trees back there. This one I'd play for par. Cannot tell what this wind is doing. All right, that's parked. This one's an easy par. Not gonna take a 6. Hole 8, throwing to position B, 320 feet. I tend to throw the turnover shot to make the Mando and drift right. Forehand is the play for some, but for me, backhand. That's not going to be a 6 either. Hole 9, this one is 370 feet, fully around the corner, not visible from the tee pad. If I can hit this gap and land it, close to where that short pin position is, maybe skipping past it, that'd be a fantastic tee shot. Not good. So weirdly enough, I took a roll down the hill after hitting this tree here, and it's actually probably favorable, giving me a look at the pin instead of having to get it around the corner, still a little bit blind. Trying to throw up the hill with a little bit of Anheuser, putter shot through the gap to drift right to the basket with my Johnny McRae signed Keystone. If I mess it up, it's not my fault. Fantastic. After throwing the Keystone upshot, I feel like I have to turbo putt, and I did get a lesson from Johnny McRae, and he did teach me how to turbo putt. So let's see if any of that lesson stuck with me. Good enough. Hole 10, only 281 feet, but this line makes it pretty tough to park the basket. You can throw the forehand for a late fade to kind of beat the corner and actually get to the circle. I tend to throw a backhand, and if I make it past the short pin, I'm feeling great. It's a pretty bad throw. I guess I can make a par save from here. Hole 11, pin B, 276 feet. All you have to hit is this gap halfway down the fairway, then it's smooth sailing down a little hill to the basket. If I can turn this latitude 64 fuse just a little bit over through the gap, I should be able to get to the circle. A little windy, but I have a putt. I guess I just can't make this putt. Hole 12, position B, 432 feet. Once again, this one I am playing for par. OB over the sidewalk on the left. Threw way too nose down, but I have the chance to scramble for another par. I'll be throwing a way overstable Prodiscus Troija, however you pronounce it. I'll just kind of rip it and hope that it pushes its way up the hill and gives me a putt. Not as close as I want. Apparently that's what I should have done. I think I have a really good round today, somewhere hidden behind all of my mistakes. Hole 13, 316 feet. Kind of a low ceiling just the whole way. OB on the left over the path. I don't know. I'll take a par. That was horrible. Somehow that's really close. So I think I'm getting to the point where I should just scramble off the tee because my only good shots are scramble shots. And all of my tee shots are pretty much awful after the first 4 holes, after the first 3 holes. So, yeah, I'm considering that maybe a good strategic change is to just scramble off the tee and not worry about making good tee shots trying to get birdies, because it doesn't seem to be working. I don't think it's really very likely. Somehow that is my scramble shot over the OB to flare almost high enough to look like it might go in. Hole 14, this one in position B, 265 feet, with a couple of things in the way. This little fence area is actually OB. I have hit the tree and dropped into it for the penalty stroke. That's always fun. This fence here is all over, the fence is all OB, and you're not likely to get your disc back. And where that person's walking on the walking path, also OB. Guess I don't need to get to the circle. Hole 15 in the B position, 390 feet. This one is just a long turnover shot. I don't really have the forehand for it. I'm not Calvin Heimberg, and I don't have a destroyer that can glide for 390 feet. This one, I'm just playing it for par. If I can rip a turnover shot under those trees, then I can land my kind of upshot up. You can't even see the basket. Somewhere back in there, but we'll see. I thought there was a headwind, but clearly I misread that. Actually a pretty good result to be past everything so that I have an open shot to the pin. I'll just rip a zone, try to slide up the hill a little bit, have an easy putt. I think that counts as an easy putt. On to hole 16 with a tee sign that looks like the birds just love. We're looking at position B here, 312 feet. Not far, but there is kind of a pit of OB short of all of that brush. And I just seem to find my way in there all the time. Then a weak shot lands you in this crap over on the left, which is pretty much a pitch out. It's hard to run it from there. And if I make it to the long pin, it's a tough putt because I'm risking over putting and going, you guessed it, OB. Definitely too inside. I tried to put that out to the right more. All right, that was the weakest run I've ever made in my life. That was horrible. It's probably still in bounds. That's how bad it was. And that's when I'm not worried about my score. Hole 17, position B, 274 feet to the pin. Would really love to pick this one up. For me, this should be just a simple backhand hyzer around this tree. But I've been seeing my own tee shots all day, so I'm not holding my breath. I think I threw it onto the walking path, which I didn't mention as OB. I don't see anybody close to it, and I think I came back in bounds. Hole 18, another tee sign, just loved as a meeting place for birds. 350 feet to position A. Sneak under or around this tree. There is a roller shot, there is the outside forehand line. I'll just try to throw straight at it, flip over to the right of this tree, and see if I can get close. It's a pretty weak tee shot. I think I have a new strategy for this hole. And here is my outside turnover shot that ended up way better than I could have ever expected. I guess now I know what to do next time. In an effort to console myself for barely clinging to par through my round, I'll take a few more ace runs, and if I hit one, maybe it'll fix everything. Hit some metal. Oh my goodness. Hit the cage. Off the cage. Again. Oh, off the cage again. That spit out. Are you kidding me? That spit out.